Hi everyone, a very good afternoon. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible. Need to know this so that we can begin. Okay, so I welcome you to this session, XAT most important questions. We are going to talk about a variety of questions today again, right? Critical reasoning, parajumbles, vocabulary, grammar, all these sorts of questions we are going to discuss. Okay, the agenda, of course, is to show you how to eliminate, how to navigate various question types, right? And the hope is that you will learn how to select questions, how to eliminate from too close answer choices, something that students always face a problem in. Yes? So, a good afternoon, Priyanshi. Good afternoon. All right, then. Let's see. So, I'm sure that by now your preparation is perhaps in its final lap. Some of you may have even taken your last mock. Yes? So, if you've been taking mocks regularly, if you've solved previous year papers regularly, then you must have observed that in the last 5-6 years, 5 questions approximately have been asked from the areas of vocabulary and grammar. And these are 5 scoring questions. Right, so let's begin with a match the following question. This is a vocabulary question. 5 options because that gives you 5 options. You have to match them correctly, match the 2 columns correctly and give me the answer. I am just going to reduce the video size a little so that the options are clearly visible to you. Just give me a second. Huh? Okay, I think this is fine. Right. So look at it and tell me the answer. Yes. Hello, Guru. Hi, Amrit. How have you been? Hi, Satyansh. Hello, Jasuman. Hello, Ria. Okay, I've already got some responses. Good, good, good. Good afternoon, Mateen. Hi, Mitali. Okay, Mitali says A. Jatin says A. Satyansh A. Amrit A. Okay. Others, do we agree? All right. Okay. So quite a few A's I've got. So even if let's say you do not know the exact meaning of some of these words, let's say, okay, although they are not very difficult words, still let's say you don't know what guillotine is, but at least one or two of the words you would know the meaning of, isn't it? For instance, dungeon, a very common word, isn't it? So a dungeon is a cell, a prison cell. It's a prison. It's an underground prison, usually, present in castles. So if you read those stories where there's a king and then he imprisons someone in an underground castle, you must have read about dungeons, right? People who are Big Bang Theory's fans, the game Dungeons and Dragons happens to be those guys' favorite. Yes, they play that game a lot. So two matches with D. Now, once you realize that, you're able to eliminate just 2 options. But then there are other easy words as well. So, for instance, shroud. What is a shroud? The cloth that you lay on a dead body before their burial. Yes, so that is a shroud. Once I realize this, I know 4 is A, and there is just one option where 4 is A. So that's why A has to be the answer here. So not a difficult question, a direct vocabulary question. Mind you, direct vocabulary questions have also been asked in that previous years. Okay, so lately more of contextual vocabulary questions, but if you go all the way back, then even direct vocabulary questions have been there. Right, some, just some. Counterpane. Who will tell me counterpane? Yes. What is counterpane? Guillotine. Yes, yes. Absolutely correct, Jatin. So a guillotine is that wooden structure where you place someone to behead him or her. That is a guillotine. Yes. So of course it is related to execution. What is counterpane though? Does it have to do something with a window? Not really. A counterpane is simply a blanket, a bed cover, right? A bedspread, you can call it. That's a counterpane. So one is definitely B. So these were a few words that you had to match, and it was an easy question. So +1 right there. Okay. Let's have a look at a fill in the blank now. So you have to fill in these 2 blanks and let's see what you say. Correct, Satyansh. Bedspread, Riya, correct. Amrit, yes. Blanket is a synonym. Okay. A bed cover, yes, a bed cover is also called a counterpane. Okay. All right. Okay. So varied responses so far. Okay. So except A, I have got almost everything. All right. So I think it's E versus C, what I can see in the chat box. E versus C, is it? But more of E's lately. All right, let's have a look. Now, uh, she was not only carefree to make judgments, but also negligent to defend the conclusion derived from it. So, carefree, carefree, the word has a positive connotation. Okay, if I call someone a carefree person, I am trying to show their independence from all worries out there. Careless, on the other hand, is its negative counterpart. That carries a negative connotation. So, if I'm using negligent here, I should use careless here, not carefree. The connotation, you understand the word connotation by now? The image associated with these two words is very different. Okay, whereas I need something, so not only but also structure demands usually a similar or same connotation. So negative, negative, or positive, positive, or neutral, neutral. Basically same hona chahiye, that's what I'm trying to say, right? So C eliminated. E is the answer. Good. She was not only reluctant, she was very reticent also fits in that sense. She was reluctant to make judgments. Okay, she was very, okay, not very willing, unwilling, and at the same time she was also pretty cautious about defending the conclusions that were derived from it. Okay, she was very careful about that as well. So basically, this is a person who does not like to make judgments outrightly. So she's very reluctant, unwilling to make judgments, okay, about people, about situations. And at the same time, if ever she makes such judgments, she's very careful about defending the conclusions that can be derived from those judgments. Okay, it's not like she'll outrightly defend them, outrightly side with them. So E is the answer here. The tone, the similarity, in fact, in the meanings also, unwilling, careful, that tells me that E is the best fit. Now let's have a look at the other words. What is flummoxed? Yes, this question flummoxed me. That means it confused me. It bewildered me. Okay. So flummoxed is bewildered, confused, right? Prudent. Again, prudent is a good word. When I say prudent in making judgments, that means you are again pretty careful, pretty cautious, right? So, prudence is your careful judgment about the future. Then, obdurate. Someone who is obdurate. Obdurate is not a verb, it's an adjective. It looks like it's a verb, but it's an adjective. It means someone who's very stubborn. Okay, someone who's very stubborn. Ziddi is obdurate. Insouciant. Insouciant. When you just don't care, that is when you are insouciant. So you can associate it with some people in your life, people who just show a casual lack of concern, pretty chilled out, pretty nonchalant. These people are. Right. I remember I studied this word for the first time about this singer, Amy Winehouse. She died untimely, and there was this article about her that talked about her being an insouciant person, someone who just didn't care. Right. So that's where I read it for the first time. Sycophantic. I think all of us know sycophantic, don't we? Perplexed, yes, absolutely. Perplexed also fits, Amrit. Sycophantic, all of us understand somebody who is fawning over the other person, fawning to the other person, right? Somebody who is highly obsequious, because they have something to gain from the other person. So obsequious, sycophantic, fawning, chamcha, yes, all of these are the meanings. I hope the other words are clear to you. Yes, insouciant came in IIFT, okay. Yes, I think it has appeared a couple of times in some other exams as well, right? Okay. So this was about vocabulary. Now let's have a look at this. So this question is a previous year's XAT question and it was framed like this. Which of the following is certainly not implied in the above words? Okay. And if you see, it's slightly poetic. Okay, slightly literary in nature. However, the question that has been ultimately asked from it is a critical reasoning question only. What cannot be concluded? What has not been implied? What cannot be inferred? Okay, from the above words. So look at these five options and tell me the answer. Yes, please hit the like button. I somehow noticed that a lot of students attend the session, but then they don't like it. Okay, we don't ask anything else of you, right? Just to hit the like button. That's it. So please do the needful. Okay. All right. Others. So see, even though this verse was slightly poetic, slightly literary in nature, right? It made use of this imagery, putting its burning fingers. So this battle, this war actually, putting its burning fingers to our faces, right? It uses this imagery. Who will erase the ruthlessness hidden in innocent blood? So the author, the person who has spoken this is actually a quote by Pablo Neruda, and Neruda asks this question. So, if you see, others are related to what has been said, but this has not been said at all. Reunites afterwards in peace. So, this becomes additional, this becomes alien, as we call it, right? And that is why this cannot be inferred. Something that is not stated at all can, of course, not be inferred. That's why B. Good. Okay. So, I look like whom? An explorer, is it? Okay. Parajumble. So here's a parajumble for you. Five options. Quickly tell me the answer. Let's see who answers the quickest here. They are very clear-cut pairs that you can identify. Acha, Jatin is saying E was also not mentioned, so why not E? Just give me a second. None can obliterate is completely destroy the ruthlessness of this war. Right? So now we are saying that the shame of this time puts its burning fingers to our faces. It leaves a lasting imprint on us. Right? Now, who will erase? When the author, the person asks this question, no, who will erase the ruthlessness hidden in innocent blood? So, this person is implying that it leaves its imprint on all of us and perhaps we will not be able to erase. So, this is not a genuine question that has been asked. This is called a rhetorical question. The author is trying to imply that probably we'll not be able to erase the ruthlessness hidden in innocent blood. Okay, so such questions are called rhetorical question. Rhetorical questions. The author is not raising a genuine question here. The author is implying by saying this that probably will not be able to erase. So that is why E can still be inferred from based on these two ideas. Whereas this is completely alien. Okay? All right. Yes, absolutely correct, Amrit. You just took words out of my mouth there. Okay. Okay. So I've got E, D, all right. Okay. E, D. So D, can it be 5, 3? Or should it be 3, 5? Those who are saying D, just pause for a moment and reflect on this. So this was easy because of some very obvious clues here. But what does this mean? It may mean. So 2 has to come before 1. Right. I will call it ostensive teaching of words. This ostensive teaching of words. So 3, 5 is a very obvious pair here. Right. What are we left with? We're left with 4. But now, if this does happen, what happens? What is happening? This thing. So something is happening in 1, that a picture of the object comes before the child's mind when it hears the word. But now, if this does happen, this coming of the picture, right? So one basically 4 has to come after 1. So which options have that? No, 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 right? These two were close. I was expecting that you will narrow down to C and E, in fact. Okay. However, 2, 1, 4 is a sequence which is preserved only in E. And that's why E is the answer here. Good, Jaydev. That means you narrowed down to the correct choices, the two close choices. All right. So E is the answer here. Okay. Hope this is clear. It was an easy parajumble question, and usually, I have observed this in XAT parajumbles that they give two close answer choices, right? So, for instance, this and this, they were pretty close. Happened last year as well in XAT 2022, but then also the question is easy. So, then also you can actually make this connection that, okay, 1, 4 is the pair. So, that was the case last year also, 2022 also. Okay, so E is the answer here. Now, here's a grammar question right in front of your screen. Oh, okay, Mridul. So even when I say the ostensive teaching of words, then probably I have mentioned this ostensive teaching earlier. The indicates familiarity, doesn't it? So even then the sequence can be preserved. All right. It could, Bache, Mridul, I agree, it could. But then I had introduced ostensive teaching of words. I call it, so when I say I call it X, that means I call it Y. That means I am introducing it to you now. That मैं इसको ना ये बोलती हूँ, अब ये ऐसा होता है. You get it? So there the introduction happened. A, E, okay, A, B, C, D, E, all right. Pretty much everything. I've got more of D's, I can see. Quite a few D's in the chat box. All right, then let's have a look if it is indeed the answer. No. He walked till the end of the street. So this is based on prepositions. This question is based on prepositions. Now, till is a preposition that is used for time. Okay, so she is available till 11 o'clock. Till is not used for distance. To is the preposition that is used for distance. So she walked to the end of the street. Okay, so she walked to the end of the street is more appropriate rather than saying she walked till the end of the street. Now, in various songs, you must have heard till the end, right? However, that's a relatively informal usage. Okay, we should, and even there, when they say till the end, they are talking about till the end of time. Okay, they are talking till the end of time. We were together till the end. I've heard people saying that. So, till the end of what? Time again, and not really distance. So, to the end of the street is the preposition. I mean, to is what we needed here. One is not correct. Okay. Then Ravi has never abided. I think this is something that all of you must have identified. Abided is always followed by. Abided is always followed by. Okay, you abide by some rules. So even this is incorrect. So either only two or none are correct. Now somebody is saying two is wrong. It should be by, not on. If she does not submit her project on that date, there will be consequences. Why? Why does it have to be by? Maybe she is supposed to submit it on that day only and not before that. So by is used to indicate if I'm saying that this is the upper limit, right? She should either submit it before it or at least by that date, right? However, it's quite possible, no, that is the date, that is the very date. She's supposed to submit it on that very day only. And if she does not submit it on that day, then there will be consequences. So on is perfectly fine here. No problem there. Okay. It's a hypothetical case. So would. Okay, no, it's not a hypothetical case here. Uh, it is a very real consequence that I am discussing. I am not saying this if she did not submit. In case I wanted it to present like a hypothetical possibility, I would write it like this. She did not, if she did not submit her project on time, okay, her project on so and so date, there would be consequences. Then this is how I would write it. There would be consequences. Now, this is a hypothetical sentence because this means that अगर उसने submit नहीं करा होता ना 8 Feb को, तो फिर consequences होते. That means the consequences didn't actually happen and she submitted it on time. Okay, so now this is a hypothetical sentence because you are talking about what would happen in case she failed to fulfill her responsibility, which in reality she did not. I am talking about a very real future possibility here कि अगर वो नहीं करती है ना तो फिर तुम देखना, फिर तो consequences होंगे. Okay, so this is the intent of the sentence. It's not a hypothetical sentence. Okay, so only two. B is the answer. On and by both fit. Absolutely correct, Anirban. That 3 essay topics this year and 22 DM questions. Devanshu, from which source have you, got this information? Has there been any official announcement? In third, Ravi has, okay, has is used, yes, with abided. Third form of the verb. Ravi has never done this. Yes, so abided is the third form. Abide, abided, abided. Okay, abided is the third form. Has, so just replace it with something in the third form. ये भी third form ही है. Okay, is too clear to everyone why I did not write would here. Okay, this is a very real thing that I'm talking about, a very real scenario. Okay, all right. Okay, it released these guidelines. Oh my God. Thank you for telling me this. I'll just look at it and probably we'll also announce it to our students. Okay, so 3 essay topics. That's why the increased time. Hence the increased time. My God, 3 topics. But do we have to attempt just one of them, Devanshu? Or do we have to attempt all the 3 or 2 of the 3? Any such thing that is mentioned? So B is the answer here. One of them. Okay, okay. And is the increased time for essay writing only? Okay. All right, only one. Fine. Oh, that's a relief. Otherwise, to think of 3 pros and cons, pointers for 3 topics, that would be a bit too much. Word limit is 300 words. All right, all right. 5 minutes break, 30 minutes for GK and essay. 76 questions. All right. That's not a major change. In part A, that's not a major change. Okay. So, in fact, you're getting 10 extra minutes for just two, in fact, कितना 20 were there, no, last year, DM में. हाँ. So, इसके लिए देखो 10 minutes मिल रहा है आपको. Keyboard test that's required. What happened last year, the interface was not very user friendly. So for instance, I was typing my essay. Now if I wanted to go back and correct something, it was taking a lot of time for me to actually go back and proofread, go back and correct. So probably that's why this is a very wise decision on their part, that they have kept this keyboard test. Okay. All right, all right. Fine. Okay, I'll just inform our team of this, and we'll also release an announcement regarding this. Thank you for informing me. And I would still say no major changes. In fact, you've got extra time, so nothing to worry about as such. Okay, right. So grammar is, I mean, this is a grammar question, out and out grammar one. So let's see what you say here. Okay. D, E, E. Okay. All right. So it's D versus E in the chat box. Basically, it's about this, whether the should come here or not. Um, D is preferred. D is better. Why? Because when I say sun, earlier, earlier in English, sun could be used for any star out there. Any star out there. For that, you could use sun. However, later on, what happened, that we stopped using the terms interchangeably, right? So we started calling a particular star as so and so star and not calling it as sun. So, but from that time, this usage is prevalent, that when I have to talk about, let's say, the Earth's sun, to indicate that I am talking about one particular star, the Earth star, so I would say the sun. Similarly, when I'm talking about the Earth's moon, I would say the moon, right? For Earth itself, I can say the Earth also. This is fine. And even Earth is fine. Why? Because this is a proper noun. Okay, unlike moon and sun, Earth is a proper noun. So here we say the Earth just to specify how unique it is. Okay, otherwise it's a proper noun and I can skip it. But when talking about our sun and our moon, we should put the there. So the sun, the moon. Okay, and that's why D is the best choice out there. The first ray of the sun to play the harmonium and sing verses from the Ramayana. Here, the because of ordinal. Before ordinals, you always put the. Here the because of a musical instrument. Before the names of musical instruments, always put the. And here the because of the name of epics. So with before the names of epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc., you again put the. Okay. All right. Usually, yes, Jessuman, this is what CAT and XAT both do, that they put a collection of previous year papers. Okay, so they'll take some questions from one paper, some from the others, and then make a mock test out of it. CAT also does the same. Okay, so D is the answer here. All right, so this was about grammar, right? One fill in the blank, one find out the correct sentence. Now we have a couple of paragraph based questions. You have to analyze a passage, it's really a paragraph, a small paragraph. Analyze the following paragraph and provide an appropriate answer for the questions that follow. Okay, so here's the paragraph. Read it. Yes, Mridul, absolutely correct. No, sun is not a proper noun. See, so for instance, if you want to become a sun, if you want to shine like a sun, then first burn like a sun. So I can use it. If you want to shine like a sun, then burn like a sun. So sun is not a proper noun. Nope, nope, nope. Earth is a proper noun. Sun and moon are not proper nouns. Read this. Yes, let's now look at the options. Right. So I have reduced the size of this here. Which of the following conclusions can be drawn from the paragraph? Three options. I mean, three, and these are your options. Sanju, 300 words is what I have got in the chat box. I'll also check it once and then I'll confirm it to you, okay? That's the upper limit, so you can't exceed 300. Okay, okay. All right. Let me do one thing. Let us also release a proper announcement breaking down this announcement. Okay. So I'll just contact my team after the session and we'll also release a detailed announcement. Okay. That will be better instead of my informing you right now. So that's because this came yesterday only, Sanju. This came yesterday itself. Okay. So I've got C, then I've got a couple of D's. I've also got some B's there. All right, all right, all right. Satvik is saying B, B, B. It has to be B. All right. Um, one cannot be concluded, right? Because the author is saying the opposite of this. The author is saying the opposite of this. So it says that for single events, you can't talk about a probability. Okay, for a certain class as a whole, you can talk about the probability. So one goes against this, one is false. Three, the data about a class of events can be used to predict the future of any specific event. So if you have data about all the men, if you have data about all the men that are 41 years old, can you predict can you predict something about one particular 41-year-old man? Is the paragraph saying this? No, it says the probability is attached to a class of men only, or to another class that can be defined in a similar way. We can say nothing about the probability of death of an individual, okay, even if we know his condition of life and health in detail. So this again goes against what is stated in my paragraph. It has to be B itself. Okay, absolutely correct. B is the answer here. C cannot be the answer because our paragraph very clearly says that we can say nothing about the probability of death of an individual, even if we know his condition of life and health in detail. The phrase when it refers to a single person has no meaning at all, right? Only to option B. Now, let's have a look at this one. Read the instructions. Zenifa, here event means your observation, because the probability, read that sentence carefully. The probability of a class of events, of a class of events. So basically, let's say of a class of men here, a class of women. So events here are your observations. Oh, I am sorry. I'm sorry. I'll just uh, go invisible for a while. Sorry. disagree with the most? Why do you think B? Can anyone give me the reason behind B? The author is saying that we can define probability only in terms of a class of individuals, a class as a whole, right? So we can associate the probability of death to a class of men, right? This is what the paragraph is saying, that we can't really say anything about the probability of something happening to an individual. Okay. Now, which of the following would the author disagree with the most? The outcome of a boxing match to be held in LA between two boxers, Joe and Mark, belonging to two different boxing clubs, can be analyzed and an outcome can be assigned a numerical value. So, now we are given scenarios that how can we actually assign the outcome a numerical value. So, by an analysis of outcomes of fights between the boxers belonging to the two clubs. So, see here also, when we analyze the outcomes of fights between boxers belonging to two clubs, it's a class of, we are analyzing a class of boxers, right? Again, it's mass data, it's not data about one individual. So, why would the author disagree with this? Those who are saying B. Absolutely correct, Amrit. So it should be A. Okay. I'm glad that some of you realize this later on, that it should be A, because all the other options, they involve an analysis of a class of people, a class of observations. Okay. Now two boxers at different venues. Again, we have a number of data points there. Two boxers at different venues. Class, again class of events, right? Two boxers against same opponents, again class of events, right? Two boxers at the same venue in LA. So now again, we'll have a class of events to analyze to derive the probability from. Okay, so it's only in this one. If assignment of the boxers' current fitness levels and their strengths is done by experts, we are not relying on any previous class of events in this case, just on the recommendations of the experts. Something that has not been discussed in my paragraph and has not really been suggested by my paragraph. So it's A. Excellent. Okay. All right. Now, okay, some of you didn't see disagree. See, I wrote disagree. This was the reason I wrote disagree in the title of the slide. Okay. Now, how about this one? Now it's pretty clear, yes. But why not let's say, okay, Yashasvi saying E. All right. C also I've got. Okay. D. Okay. Okay, just a second. So for the previous question, you only when we were on the previous question, you only told me that had it been agree with the most, then the author would say, then the answer would be B, right? Had it been agree with the most. So now why are you giving me different options? What changed between the last question and this one? Okay, so now see, if I look at C, D, and E, they will provide me data. They will provide me data only about these two boxers. These two boxers at different venues against the same opponents. Okay, where will I have more data? Where will I have a wider class? Okay, it will be in B. by analysis of outcomes of fights between the boxers belonging to the two clubs. That means all the boxers I'm talking about who are present in these two clubs. So here I will have a wider class, which is something that is going to make my author happy, right? Because he believes that probability is something that is defined for a class as a whole. So it is going to be B itself. Make sense? Absolutely correct, correct, correct. It's just these two boxers, yes, in C, D, and E. No class of boxers, no variety. Okay, hence B Bangalore. Good, good, good. That this is clear. I will now make myself visible. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, I'm still coming in the way. I'll again go invisible anyway. So this is a question about what is consistent with the argument. Now, just a second, just a second. Some queries are coming up. Ma'am, but how is B relevant to assigning to the outcome? So, Harsh, now you are looking at it from a rational perspective. You're looking at it from your perspective. But we have to stick to the author's perspective, the author's argument. Author क्या बोल रहा है कि हम एज अ क्लास डिफाइन कर सकते हैं प्रोबेबिलिटी को, तो फिर मुझे वाइडर क्लास कहाँ पर मिलेगी जब बहुत सारे बॉक्सर्स का डेटा हो, राइट? Who belong to these two clubs. So that is why I have to stick to B. I understand, when I was attempting this, even I thought this, that how is B more relevant? But then you are thinking from a rational mathematical perspective and not sticking to the viewpoint of the author, right? I hope you get it, Harsh, Ayush. Why not C? Just a second, just a second. Let's go back to the question again. Why not C? By comparing the outcomes of, sorry, by an analysis of outcomes of fights between the two boxers at different venues. See, logically, rationally मुझसे पूछोगे, so I would prefer C and D only, right? अगर मेरे को ये डेटा नहीं दिया होता और आप मुझसे पूछते मैं कैसे एनालाइज करूंगी, तो मैं तो ऐसे ही एनालाइज करती इन टू बॉक्सर्स का देखकर. ओके, आई अग्री विद यू देयर. आई एब्सोल्युटली अग्री विद यू देयर. तो मुझसे अगर पूछते मेरा ओपिनियन लेते तो मैं ये ओपिनियन देती, बट whose opinion do we have to stick to right now? The opinion of the arguer. Okay, hence C and D cannot be the answers. All right, all right. Harsh, we have to stick to the viewpoint of the author. That's what I'm saying. His viewpoint is that probability is something that is defined in terms of a class. So I have to stick to that. Okay? We have to stick to the viewpoint. Huh. In case I said the opposite, that must have been a mistake. All right, look at this question. Consistent with the argument. Now, what do I mean by this? Consistent with the argument. What is consistent? That means if the given argument, what it says is true, then what else is true based on this argument? Okay, so this is what we mean by in accordance with the ideas, consistent with the argument, etc. All right. So all of us say A, do we? Others, do you agree? Okay then, so I'm assuming that everybody agrees with this also, that A is the answer. Okay, so now let me just quickly fix my video, right? So that things are not as messy as they are right now. Okay, and let's now discuss this. So most of the options are visible to you. Now here, therapists, which of the things can we not say here? Which of the options can be very, very easily eliminated? Tell me that. Reading published articles, we have not discussed this at all. So B was the one that I eliminated right away, right? Then they will always Therapists can always treat mental illness without the use of prescription drugs. Again, not something that is the issue at all in my argument. Therapists who terminate relationships are likely to improve mental health of their patients. Okay, now D and E both talk about improvement in the patient. Okay, so this talks about improvement in the mental health. This gives a percentage that 8% of the patients will continue to improve. So, how can I predict such specific data on the basis of this very general paragraph that is given to me? I can't make such a specific prediction here. So, again, eliminated between A and D. Now, see, D is also phrased in such a way, are likely to improve, right? So it looks like it can be the answer. But have we stated this, that this actually ensures, this loss of contact ensures that their mental health improves? This would be going beyond the scope of the argument. ये हम थोड़ा आगे जाके अपने आप ही बोल दिया, ये तो हमने. We don't know what happens due to this termination of relationship. So I can't predict it on my own. You are absolutely correct in saying that A is the answer. That therapists, they are concerned with their patients' well-being. So that is why, they provide care, concern, all of those things, right? But at the same time, see, these sessions are costly sessions. So later on, they are not maintaining contact, right? They are not maintaining contact. So probably they are concerned with money making also. That's why they terminate contact. Once the patient terminates the formal paid visits. So the word paid is again highlighted here. A is the answer here. Okay. D, I can't, Amrit, I can't say whether it is contradictory or whether it is supporting. Okay, because I don't know what is the consequence of this. However, recent studies have found that only 8% of therapist-patient relationships continue after the patient terminates formal paid visits. So, what is the outcome of this? Does the patient still need care? Does the patient still need to talk to the therapist? We don't know this. Okay, because usually the formal paid visits would terminate. I mean, there can be an assumption there that now the patient is healed, right? So I don't know uska health improve hoga, deteriorate hoga, same rahega. I can't make any of those predictions. Okay, all right, hope this makes sense. Yes, yes. So A is the answer. A is the only one that actually sticks to the paragraph. The others don't stick to the paragraph. Correct. Okay, ये सब हवा में बातें हैं, ये वाली सारी स्पेशली. Okay. Now, relationship between statements. So this is a question type that I haven't encountered very recently in XAT, but I encountered it a lot in some of your early XAT papers. So it had come time and again where, two or three statements are given to you and then you're asked what is the relationship between these statements. So I thought that we should cover this question type because who knows? Yes. So three statements are given to you and certain relationships have been defined among them. So tell me, which one is the correct relationship? I hope. Acha, again I'm hiding it a bit. ठीक है, all right. Okay. B, D, all right. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So I am just coming back on the screen. Uh, okay. So here we are saying that there exists some relationship, right? We have to figure out that relationship. Now, are they necessarily dependent or are they necessarily independent? Can you tell me that? From these three statements, did you feel that there is a necessary dependence or that all of them are necessarily independent of each other? They're not dependent. I can see that there is a relationship between 1 and 3. So E straight away goes out of the window. A says statement 2 illustrates statement 1. Illustrates is give an example of, right? So does it? I don't see it giving an example of. In fact, this says that it should be freely available, right? If there is any endeavor whose fruits should be freely available, that endeavor is surely publicly financed science. Whereas this states the impediments to it. So no, not at all. 3 states a condition under which 1 would be invalid. No, 3 and 1 go in the same line. Okay, so 3 and 1 are in the same line. So it says this should happen, and this shows that how it is happening. How, what are the factors that can actually facilitate this happening, that can further the happening of 1, right? So 1 and 3, they're not contradictory. What are we left with? B versus D. 3 is a facilitating condition for statement 1, looks like it. 2 can be deduced from 3. Can we? Isn't 2 going against what 3 is saying? 3 is saying that see all these developments are happening, right? Whereas 2 states an impediment, that there is a widespread feeling that the journal publishers, they are becoming an impediment to free distribution of knowledge. So here I show what is facilitating free distribution. Here I show what is impeding it. So I can't say that 2 can be deduced from 3. Nope, nope, nope. It's just B. Okay. So B Bangalore is the answer here. Hope this is clear. Okay, then just give me a second. 3 facilitates it. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, great. So you've got this, right? So these questions are like this. 3 statements are given to you. 2 statements are given to you. You just have to figure out their relationship. Are they dependent? Are they independent? Is there a cause-effect relationship? Is one an example? Etc. etc. Okay, you must have done some of these questions in our paid classes in case you were enrolled with us. We covered some such questions in critical reasoning. Okay, so these were some question types that I found to be present in your previous year's XAT papers. That's why we covered them. Do join us for the XAT 2023 detailed analysis. I will see you on Saturday now with some last minute XAT VRC tips. Okay, so XAT VLR tips last minute. We can also discuss a bit about essay writing since some of you have asked that. Okay, and all the very best, right? I would say this on that day also, but all the very best. Just relax, right? I am sure you've put in a lot of effort so far. Now is the time to solidify a strategy. I am sure you must have solidified one. In case you haven't, you can watch the 10 days to that session that Gautam sir took. He suggests a strategy. Saral sir released a short recently. He also suggested a very good strategy, section-wise strategy for that. So hope you've solidified that. Okay. And don't worry, the exam will go well, right? Okay. Welcome, welcome, Harsh. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome. Expected topic. How can I suggest an expected topic to you? I am not a magician, I'm not somebody who can do this thing. Legilimens. I'm not equipped at that. Snape could do this, no? He was a legilimens. And he could enter the mind and read the minds of other people. Can't do that. This is our CAT 2023 comprehensive program. In case any of your friends are preparing for 2023, then do suggest this to them. A lot of things being offered here, apart from, of course, expert guidance. Okay. And in case somebody, some friend of yours or you yourself are planning to see how the CMAT exam is, so here's an all India open mock for it. This will tell you how the exam is, what the pattern is like, etc. etc. So this will be live from 21st to 29th. And in case you or your friends wish to enroll for the CAT 2023, we do offer scholarships as well. So take this test, and if you score well, you can get up to a 90% scholarship also. And these are not very difficult tests. Don't expect that we'll give you an actual CAT paper there, right? It's a relatively easier test. Stay connected, guys. Stay connected. So I hope you've subscribed to the channel. In case you haven't, please do. And you can also download the app. There also we keep conducting a lot of informative sessions. So in case you're planning on taking TISNET in the coming days, we will be conducting sessions on TISNET here also and here also. Okay. For the CAT 2023 program, our team, acha, for the link. Yeah, if somebody from the team is online right now, can you share the link in the chat box? The team did share it earlier. I think it has got lost in other messages. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for attending. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye. See you. Which one? Which test? The scholarship test. Is it one day before that? Ek minute. Yes, it is one day before that. I'm so sorry about that. I think the dates can't be changed now. Right? चलो चलो ठीक है. I'll see you now. Okay? I'll see you on Saturday at 12. Bye. Bye. See you. See you.